Greetings, citizens. Justiguy has arrived and returned to the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Returning to school after the battle, we were greeted by a sickeningly cheerful voice. Siray, obviously, right?
Woohoo! Wowzers, everyone! You were great out there! You sure showed those invaders who's boss.
2, 4, 6, 8, the yes to you is really great! Woohoo!
Just the immediate silence. So, I don't know how to say this, but...
I'm truly, deeply sorry.
Don't bother. It's a little late for apologies at this point.
You don't understand. I say this not as your commanding officer, but as the representative of the will of humanity. Everyone truly regrets what we've done to you.
Just tell us why. Why did you have to go this far?
It was the only way. We needed your power. Cryptoglobin can only be fought with Cryptoglobin. Without you, this war would have been over before it began.
So you went ahead and created us as living weapons? What a rotten way to do things. If I hadn't remembered on my own, you'd have just kept us in the dark to the very end, wouldn't you? How could you be so cruel?
Sorry.
To be fair, we might have been happier never knowing the truth. If I could go back and do things again, I probably would have chosen to stay in the dark. Now that you're back, Siray, we have a lot to discuss. There are still some things you need to clear up, like who hit us over the head in our first timeline. As Hideko spoke, I felt a presence by my side that I hadn't felt in a while. Do you mind if I join you? I also have some questions. Does that make Siray our, grandparent? Anyway.
Shion. All right, I'll tell you anything you want to know. No more holding back, no more secrets. That is the will of humanity.
Okay, let's start with the basics. Is what Shoma remembered about our origins the truth?
I'm sorry, but yes, it's all true.
I was afraid of that. We really are just lab-grown living weapons. And all our memories are made up. No matter how many times I hear it, it's still so hard to accept. It's a shock, all right. Kind of makes you want to give up on life. Except we can't die even if we wanted to.
I'd like to go through the whole thing from the beginning so we're all clear on the details. Hold your questions until I'm done, all right?
Suray's story more or less lined up exactly with what Shoma had told us. We were all clones. Artificial humans created at Kamakura General Hospital. We were made from Shion's DNA, and as such, on a genetic level, we were no different than any other Futurans. So we weren't really human at all, more like artificial Futurans. Among the people in charge of this product, some voiced concerns about how we could prove just as much a threat to as the Futuran commanders. So to prevent us from turning on humanity, they decided to brainwash us. We were given new memories and new identities as Earthlings. Of course, some protested that this was inhumane, but with humanity's future at stake, they were left with little other choice. This resulted in the project being carried out in utmost secrecy. We spent our whole lives on the very edge of consciousness, shut away in our biological cultivation capsules. But why did some of them end up like Shoma and some of them end up like Moko and Takemaru? Inside those pods, we dreamed of our lives as Earthlings, as dictated by the memories implanted into us. A normal family, a foster home, a rich family, a family of assassins. Each one of us had a different backstory, completely distinct from the others. Part of that was to mask our true origins, but it was also to ensure we had a greater variety of viewpoints and could adapt to different situations. All right. Ignorant of the truth, we continued to grow and to dream. When the time came for us to leave, we were launched from the artificial satellite to the surface of Futurum. Then we awoke and began our mission, along with Siray, our robotic handler, and Shion, our genetic parent.
That's about the size of it. Any questions?
The bombs in us and the fact that we are revived whenever we die. Were they necessary to save humanity as well to make this mission a success?
Yeah. The bombs were just a contingency plan in case of emergencies, but the automatic revival was deemed indispensable. Most Cryptoglobin users can only be harmed with Cryptoglobin, but you guys are different. You could take damage from conventional sources too, just like regular humans. Something must have gone wrong when we were making you.
Hey.
But thanks to that, we discovered how properly stimulating your Cryptoglobin could reverse even fatal damage. That's what led to the invention of the Revivomatic.
And that meant you can make us fight over and over again. We really are just weapons to you. Seriously, why do you have to take it so far? Even I'm surprised at this level of selfish cruelty. Is there nothing humanity won't stoop to?
You guys want to smash this guy up again? I know that what we did to you was unforgivable, but mankind's future was at stake and we were running out of time. The artificial satellite's resources are already dangerously low.
Which, you know, they might not say this out loud, but this could justify why they had to wait. They waited to send their clones out as long as possible, and why they're only teenagers, you know?
Pretty soon it'll be nothing but a lifeless husk, floating through space forevermore. Humanity needs a new home. We had no choice but to entrust that mission to you.
And trust? That makes it sound so noble. Really, you just used us.
Fair point, but the important thing is you aren't just convenient for us. You are essential. You still have the potential to be humanity's saviors. We are still pitting all our hopes on you.
Enough! I don't want to hear about you.
You and your hopes anymore. Everything you say is just a simulation of their collective will anyway. It's totally meaningless.
Ooh. Actually, this apology isn't a simulation.
Look at this.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. It's not fair of us to force you to do this.
Sorry, mister. What's going on? Who are these people?
I told you before how I've been programmed with the thought patterns of all mankind so I can make the best choices for humanity. Given everything that's happened, I ran a new simulation and arrived at a different conclusion than before. That was to tell the regular citizens of the artificial satellite the truth.
The people in the Tokyo residential complex.
I don't believe
They
you.
know everything. Why we're fighting this war. What will happen if we lose. Now you are the ones fighting for them. That includes where you come from, and the lives you've been made to live as well. All of humanity knows the truth now.
They're so young. I don't know what to say.
You probably hate us, and I don't blame you. But you're all we have.
Please, I don't care what happens to me. Just save my children.
They're not much older than me.
I'm not ready to die. Please, don't give up.
I wish I could be there with you. I want to help too.
I'm sorry we have to depend on you.
Did we really have to go this far? Maybe it would have been better to let us die out.
Maybe?
I can't do anything from up here, but I'll...
Please, you have to win this. My baby is only a few days old.
Please, keep...
Stop it! Nozomu's voice cut through all the others, echoing throughout the war room. Turn it off! Just turn it off!
All right, Shirei nodded and his eyes flashed red. The next moment, the monitors all flickered off.
This is too cruel. Isn't it enough that you kept the truth from them for so long? Now you want them to keep fighting for you? This is totally unreasonable.
What do those people on the satellite know about sacrifice? About hardship? They've pushed it all onto these guys instead!
These guys, really?
Yeah.
Our mission is cruel and inhumane. I admit we're undoubtedly the village in this war. But humanity still wants to live, just like any other creature. Their first instinct is to survive. It's my duty to facilitate that, to save as many of them as possible.
Even if it means sacrificing us, not to mention all the innocent people on this planet?
It's the only way to remake Futurum as the second Earth and give humanity a brighter future. This war and your power is our only hope. We have no other choice but to rely on you. So I will ask you once more, I'm not proud of what we've done. The way we've treated you is truly unforgivable.
Even so, I ask that you save humanity. Please, don't turn your backs on us.
I get what you're saying, but still. Is humanity even worth saving? Why should we trade the lives of everyone on this planet for theirs? It's a little hard to ignore them now that we've actually seen them, though. Either way, we're going to have to keep fighting. Veshnis will come after us no matter what we do. Can't you at least call off the final attack? Killing all the Futurans is going too far.
Yeah.
Remember what Veshnis said, every last one of them will fight us to the bitter end. So long as any of them survive, this war will continue. Kill or be killed, massacre or face extinction. Death would have been so much easier compared to living with these choices. If we are going to keep fighting, there's something else I need to know. What happens to Shion? There is an escape pod to take all of us back to the satellite on day 100. But not for Shion, right? He has to stay here. He has to power the final assault. It was my destiny to live and die here at Last Defense Academy to use this power to eradicate the invaders. Something's wrong. I can't keep my body together. Why? Jeong began to fade away, a troubled look on his face the whole time. Before we knew it, he'd completely vanished. Jeong? Hey, what gives? What did you do to him?
I don't know. This has never happened before. I guess she's never had to deal with such confusing feelings. This could have an adverse effect on the final result. I should go check on him. Let's call it a day here, everyone. We'll pick up the discussion in the defense room tomorrow. It'll be easier for Shion to join in that way.
With those last few parting words, Sirei hurried away, leaving us standing there alone. Pick up the discussion. Is there anything even left to discuss? Perhaps he's expecting a definite answer in what we plan to do from here on. Whether we carry on or decide to quit, it's still going to be a living hell for all of us.
Damn it, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, the stress is going to wreak havoc on my skin. I think it's best if we take a break for now. I'm pretty tired. This is my first battle in quite a while. Yeah, whatever. Just make sure you go back to your cage. Ima, can I sleep in your room tonight? Of course. I was just about to suggest it myself. All right, let's rest up and talk more tomorrow. Exhausted from the day's activity, we left the war room and went back to our rooms. And so, for the second time, my 72nd day at Last Defense Academy drew to a close. I could sure use some free time about now. It was dark outside when I woke up. I barely slept a wink all night. Dawn was still a ways off, but I knew I wouldn't be falling asleep anytime soon. Now that I was awake, I didn't much feel like just sitting around in my room. I decided to get some fresh air and stepped outside. The sky was always darkest before dawn. Had I heard that somewhere? Or was it something I'd noticed since I got here? The way the sky looked at that moment was a perfect mirror to my mood. Sensual. Erotic. With the sound of jazz. And even darker, against the dark sky, a familiar shape was orbiting the planet.
It's hard to believe. The last vestiges of humanity are all up there.
Yeah. I noticed something in the corner of my eye and realized I wasn't alone. I couldn't sleep. Oh shit, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry about that. You couldn't sleep either? No, same for you, Nozomi. Yeah, there's just so much to think about. I wonder what the real Earth was like back when humanity still lived on its surface. I'm not sure. They told us that Earth had a will of its own and that it chose death when humanity's abuse became too much for it. I wonder if this planet has its own consciousness too. It wouldn't be all that strange if it did, I guess. There's a chance humanity might make the same mistake here then. Our selfishness could lead this planet to destruction just like it did for Earth. I don't think you guys need to fight for humanity's sake anymore. All I want is for you to live for yourselves and for you to be happy. Live for ourselves. Man, if only I still had a wife and child that could lead me to do that. It's a nice idea, but I barely know what kind of life we can expect to live anymore. How about you, Nozomi? Are you going to keep fighting to protect humanity? Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do. I only know that I don't want all of you to have to bear that burden. Just so long as you don't try to fight on your own again. I want you to be happy too, you know. Takumi. Oh look, the sky is starting to get brighter. I followed Nozomi's gaze to where a pale light had started to spill over the horizon.
What a lovely sunrise.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever seen the sun come up.
Really? We've been here 70 whole days, and it's more like 170 for you, right?
But I never thought about getting up to watch it. I mean, back in the TRC, it just gets light automatically when it's morning. Although technically, I've never seen that for myself either.
That's how it was for me, too. I think your memories of the complex are pretty accurate to the real thing.
Still, though, this is what a real sunrise looks like. No one on the artificial satellite has ever seen anything like this.
It's so beautiful. It makes me want to cry. It feels like such a waste to keep it to ourselves.
Well, we're not. We have a whole people of and with families and stuff that we're slaughtering that already had this. Nozomi and I stayed there for a while long. Hey, no, not for. Nozomi and I stayed there a while longer, watching the sun climb higher in the sky and light up the world around us. Then we headed to the defense room to meet with the others. Meet the others, not with the others. We're going to meet the others. Everyone was gathered outside the defense room door like we'd agreed on the day before. I think we're giving Ato too much power, guys. Alright, it looks like everyone's here. Now we're just waiting on C-Ray. Why are you here too? Get back in your cage! You want to exclude me from something this important? I have a right to hear about this too, you know.
Hey everyone, sorry to make you wait.
How's Shion?
I think he'll be alright, but his brain waves are looking very irregular. Yesterday's conversation put a lot of stress on him, some physical but mostly psychological.
Psychological stress. I wonder what Shion is going through right now. He is our daddy, after all. It's not like before when he could accept his death as an inevitable price to pay for the mission's success. Now he knows where he came from and that he's being used to massacre his own people. That can't be easy for him to deal with. Let's continue yesterday's discussion. What are we going to do from here? Humanity has treated Kako like a weapon, a mere object. I can't say I like the idea of fighting for their sake. But if we don't fight, Veshness will kill us all. Shouldn't we just run away? There's gotta be somewhere on this planet we can settle down.
And spend the rest of our lives looking over our shoulders? Nah, phone call.
Okay, where was I? And spent the rest of our lives looking over our shoulders? Nah, that ain't it for me. I doubt Veshness would let us go that easily either. She wants our power, and she's not afraid to kill anyone who gets in the way of her goals. And yet I managed just fine with my wife and child.
So we're back to fighting being the only way we can survive.
But it also means killing all innocent people on this planet. I don't think I can accept that. Can you accept everyone on the artificial satellite dying instead? Remember all the people we saw in that transmission yesterday? Wow, that was bullshit.
If you do save humanity, you'll be heroes. There's no doubt about that. You'll be able to live the rest of your days in happiness.
You stay out of this. We're trying to think. Survival means turning our back on this planet's people and letting them all die. I think I'd rather go back to the satellite right now and massacre humanity myself. You be quiet too. And if we do keep fighting, Shion will die once we get to the 100th day, right? I don't want to have to sacrifice him. He deserves to be happy too.
He's going to die either way.
Huh? What do you mean?
When Shion finishes producing enough undying flames on day 100, the school will automatically shift into attack mode. Then the final assault to wipe out the remaining life on this planet will begin. There's only one way to stop it.
Okay, question. What the fuck are they even going to do with a planet that they've wiped out all life on?
That's to deactivate the machine Shion's physical body is stored in, which is also what's keeping him alive. He can't survive outside of it. If that machine didn't constantly absorb his power, he'd be consumed by his own flames.
So Shion will die no matter what we do?
Oh.
Don't worry about me, my children.
Shion, did you hear all that?
It's all right. I've always known I wasn't going to live for very long. It feels like I've been on borrowed time up until now. But you guys aren't like me. You can have a future beyond this war. I don't know what kind of future a bunch of fakes like us can
You may
have.
not be able to change your past, but what you do from here on is a different matter.
We're gonna destroy the satellite.
You can still choose how you want to live. You can still choose to live. That's all I want from you. For you to live. For yourselves. And for me, too. You could consider this
Oh,
my last request.
that's kind of cheap. Oh, Shion, wait. Tsubasa desperately tried to reach out to Shion, but he was already gone.
He doesn't have much time left. The undying flames are eating away his body little by little. His own power is too much for him. It's too much for any one person to...
Any one person? We're all gonna take some of it. No. Where does that leave us? Has anyone come to a decision? Nobody answered. How could we decide what to do in this situation? I think we're gonna need more time. We can't just vote on a course of action and call it a day. We need to really think about it and come to a decision that everyone will be satisfied with, including Shion, of course.
He'll need to rest up for at least 4 days before he can make another avatar.
Okay, what do you say we talk again in 3 days' time?
That's okay with me, but if the enemy attacks before then...
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, or burn it, whatever works.
I guess that's fair.
All right, that should do it for today, then. We all headed back to our rooms, each of us struggling with the same dilemma in our own different ways. On the 100th day, the school will go into attack mode Metabee and begin the final assault. The undying flames will raise every living thing left on the planet, including Shion. But if we try to stop it before then, Shion will still die. It seems like there's just no way for us to save him. What should we do? I could work up the energy to do anything else, so I spent the rest of the day in my room. Outside, the light faded and the clock ticked interminably forward, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Day 74.
Get prepared. Be ready to...
I slowly got myself out of bed. I needed to talk to someone. Didn't matter who. I just need to get out of bed for a little while. I guess I'll end up the company and there's bound to be someone there. Oh, Sea-Ray, speak to me. If you guys choose to save humanity, you'll be hailed as heroes. I guarantee you'll live with... Okay. I know Shion's fate doesn't sit right with you, but whatever you do, he won't live much longer anyway. What the fuck do you mean Ato's not in the courtyard? Oh. Okay. Boom ba boom ba. Unsurprisingly, the mood in the cafeteria was somber. It was almost completely deserted. Is nobody else coming today? Some of them came by earlier, but took their food back to their rooms. It was pretty obvious that they wanted to be alone. Shouldn't we be more open and discuss things some more? I mean, we are basically family. That's the worst thing about this situation. How can I possibly be related to that ragtag collection of freaks and misfits? I'm pretty sure they feel the same about you. And I just came up with a new dish, too. I added pastel pink paint to Hot Pot to make it pretty. You're not even using edible ingredients anymore. This time, we're all having a say in what we do. We're not just pushing the decision onto takumi like we have in the past. I think everyone's going to need time to come to terms with that and what it means for them. I wish there was a way for us to resolve this without fighting. I don't think that's going to happen while Veshness is around, or even without her for that matter. The Futurans all hate us vile invaders, after all. It's only natural after what humanity has done to their home. I think we'll just have to keep fighting until one side is finally wiped out. Now, if we could refer to the notes. Are you hungry today, Ima? You have a tummy ache? Are you angry at us? What do you think about humanity? What do you think about the Futurans? What do you think about me? I see. It's a tough decision. I'm still not any closer to an answer myself. Even my clairvoyance won't help us here. What the hell was up with that, by the way? Is that just a power she has? Come to think of it, it's the same with me. I can barely get my thoughts together. In all the confusion from all these big revelations, I've kind of lost sight of myself. We stayed in the cafeteria long enough to eat breakfast, then went back to our rooms. Are we gonna have some free time? Free time, maybe? Give me some free time. Everyone's spending time on their own to think about stuff. I should probably do the same, but I don't feel like just sitting around today. At this point, I'll even talk to Sea-Ray. Maybe I'll go take a walk. We'll approach this free time. Oh, wait, actually, yes, we'll approach this free time next time, citizens. But until then, I'm afraid this is gonna have to be farewell.